A Wendy's Frosty is something special. And for a limited time, a Frosty is just 50 cents. An American classic for a classic price. It's not quite a milkshake, not quite an ice cream cone. It's definitely chocolate or vanilla. That choice is on you. Use a spoon or a French fry. Anything goes. A Frosty makes summer special. Yep, there's nothing quite like a Frosty. And there's nothing quite like this deal. A Frosty for 50 cents. Get yours before this deal melts away. Small Frosty at participating Wendy's for a limited time.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Seagull Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today, Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial market, politics, sports, even poke fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the so you know the action you can take. How your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. Al Manfre, Heritage Financial Service, is in the house. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Glad to have you with us. And obviously, being that it is Wednesday, and better known as Wine Wednesday, Robert Mott will be checking in shortly to give us his, well, we're going to talk about wine. What else will we talk about with Robert Mott when he calls in? Today, though, I'm going to remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime assistance. When you call, the number comes directly to me first. There are no operators standby. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm testing.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Of course, before we get into our wine discussions, today we have to celebrate. Every day that we are on the right side of the sidewalk, we're celebrating on Ron Siegel Radio. National Trail Mix Day. It is a National Trail Mix. Orange mix that was developed as a healthy snack to be taken along hikes. Now, being one who has definitely beaten anorexia, throw those M&Ms in there. I like those. You might want to take them on the trail, but then again, you're not going to find me on the trail either, so we're okay there. Little cashews, a couple of nice things in there. I guess it's my own version of trail mix, but we move right along as I do. Frequently, I digress. Look at the markets this morning. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 97 points. We're looking at oil. Yeah, that's down $1.40 a barrel. I didn't get a chance before I came into the studio to see how much maybe that built up the oil reserves for the upcoming breaks. But we're seeing oil down $1.42 as we speak right now. And yes, of course, you know that I'm going to give you the numbers. $2.22.3 national average price of a tank of gasoline, tank of regular gasoline, up again. I think I've been seeing that every single day lately, that the price of gas is up. Right here, state of confusion, we're at $2.68.1 a gallon, and about 5 cents more than the oil-producing state of Hawaii. Maybe I don't remember those oil-producing states of Hawaii, but I think the only thing they have in Hawaii, I know they've got quite a bit of ethanol. I've seen those ranches over there. Maybe you've noticed the ranches there as well. And I think that's how that's methane that they produce there. Sorry. Along those lines, U.S. 10-year Treasury, 1.571. That is the yield percentage on the 10-year Treasury. We're going to find out about that. That's going to be volatile over the next couple of days. But remember, you still get to add 1.76 to that, and you'll get a pretty close reading on where the 30-year fixed rate mortgage should be historically. So that's a 10-year Treasury plus 1.76 to that number. Moving right along, ADP came out with their payroll processing numbers. They're claiming 177,000 people were added to private sector payrolls in August. The estimate was 175,000. What's that mean to you? I always like this number. They tell you 177,000 jobs were added, but expected 175,000. Both numbers really stink, regardless.
Useless.
But being that they were close to expectations, it's not going to move the market. Does that make sense to anybody? Right? We have a horrible amount of jobs being added. We need about 150,000 jobs a month net just to those people come into the workforce. So we're basically doing nothing. I promise you tomorrow. Let's see. Remember, let's make sure we get apples and apples here. They're talking about 177,000 new jobs added for the month. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how many first-time unemployment claims come out for the week. And probably going to be somewhere in the range of 250,000 first-time unemployment for the week, yet we celebrate the idea that 177,000 new jobs were added. Figure that one out if you can. Please send me a message so I can understand that. Ron at ronsiegelradio.com. Institute for Supply Management factory activity Midwest region fell to 51.5 in August from 55.8 prior months. We're not looking too good on manufacturing. I think that has anything to do with GDP at 1.1%. Maybe there's a little correlation there. National Association of Realtors, though, they came out with contracts to buy previously owned homes, rose 1.3% last month. Again, higher than the 0.6% that they were expecting. Again, not a great number, but at least on the positive side, as long as we see interest rates. Once again, I will repeat, because I can't repeat this tomorrow because it'll be inaccurate. Today, I can tell you that the most recent Freddie Mac mortgage market survey, 3.43%, 30-year fixed-rate loan. And I'm going to share with you, I tell you this all the time, if you've got a boatload of equity in your property and you qualify for that Freddie Mac 3.43% loan, there is a great opportunity for you, what's called arbitrage. Borrow that money, get it most likely a tax break on that money, a tax deduction. Again, talk to CPA, make sure that that's all well and good. I'll give you the questions. They give you the answers. That's kind of how we work on Ron Siegel Radio. Then be able to invest that money in some very, very safe, secure investments. Maybe we're going to talk to Al Manfre. Maybe he'll give us an idea where we can put that money at maybe 6-8%. And think about the spread between 3, less 30% tax if you're in a 30% tax bracket. So you're borrowing money at under 3, investing and getting back better than 6, 7, 8%. That's how you make money in this country, unless you just want to work harder. And then you can go and collect money by working harder, or you can get your money to work for you. Just a thought there. We'll talk more about that as the morning goes on. Did you watch the news? And you know that I'm a political junkie, so I've got to go there. Donald Trump heading over to Mexico today. He's going to meet with the Mexican president, talk about the wall. Maybe they'll talk about a few other things. I did get a little bit of a sneak peek on the agenda. I heard that there was rumors going around. Social media had this rumor going around that Donald Trump was going to ask President Peña Nieto if he could connect with El Chapo. No truth to that. But isn't it that the thinking about connecting with El Chapo is he's an expert in hiding, and Trump, maybe he could find Hillary Clinton that way. Yeah, maybe Clinton. She's been out hiding very well. All she does is her fundraising and talking to, what's that late night guy that she was talking to, and talk about the idea that what's another 15,000 emails that she hid from the American people. But again, there is no truth. Donald Trump is not going to be meeting with El Chapo to try and find Hillary and get her out of hiding. No truth to that one at all. So if you're hearing that, seeing that on social media, you heard it here first. There is no truth to that concept. Moving right along, as I have been sharing with you for many, many years, there is no logical reason for the stock market to be where it is. Right? I mean, I guess I could tell you where the logic is. The logic is the way the stock market is as high as it is. Trading right now, I think I shared with you earlier, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 94.72 at 18,000. The reason it's that high level is there's two reasons and two reasons only. Called the national debt. Right? One of them is the national debt. It has ballooned from $9 trillion to about $20 trillion. Now, I don't know about you. My bank account has not seen a significant portion of that $11 trillion delta right there. It has gone to Wall Street. That's where the Obama administration, the Clinton administration, they send all the money they can collect, you and me, to Wall Street. The second place that money has come from is the United States Federal Reserve. Their balance sheet has tripled in the same time period. So with all the money going to Wall Street, them not really risking any of that money, they continue to see stock prices go up. There's no good reason for those stock prices to go up. There's no fundamental reason, they call it. No fundamental reason for those prices to go the way they've gone. So at this point in time, you got to pay the price, and that's why there are a number of the bigwigs, stock market gurus are out there saying, prepare for a 5 to 10% drop in stock prices. I'm going to suggest to you it could be a lot more significant than 5 to 10%. And one of the beauties of what I like to do right here on Seagull Radio, I'm not a big fan of just telling you there's doom and gloom. We're going to give you solutions to protect you and your family. But guess what? You got to stay tuned. You're listening to Seagull Radio, touching your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're looking for Robert Mott. He will be checking in. Manfre, they've done 20,000 trusts. Do you think there's something that we can learn from him? I think so, and that's why he's sitting right here at the end of the table with us. We're going to chat with him. How not to screw up your mortgage application, how to give your home to your children tax-free. We've got a lot to cover today. You can reach us anytime or off air, number 800 306 1990
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
What if your family business could help clothe a less fortunate family? Or your restaurant could feed truly hungry people? What if you could help to comfort the lonely? Plant sustainable resources where nothing has ever grown before? Or make a child's lifelong wish come true? What if all you had to do was simply do nothing more than what your business already does every day? Would you do it? Introducing Processing for a Cause, a unique program that turns a percentage of your business's credit card volume into ongoing donation dollars for nonprofit organizations and foundations. Simply switch your credit card processing provider to Processing for a Cause and begin supporting a worthy cause today. The process is simple, and the cause will change lives forever. Processing for a Cause.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back on Siegel Radio. In the market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message as your consumer advocate. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text AIR to 79564. Home values not in bubble range is the subject of today's real-time real estate segment. Some industry pundits claim that residential home values are rising too quickly and that current levels are on the verge of another housing bubble. Easy to see how this thinking has taken form if we look at a graph of home prices from 2000 to today. But basically, really what they're looking at is, and I'm going to post this graph there, Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook, is we're pretty much right at par with where we were at 2006. The big difference between today and 2006, look at interest rates. 2006 interest rates were probably double where they are today. Makes it a lot more affordable. And in 2006, we had that two-step mortgage process. Yeah, if you could fog a mirror, you were approved. Those are the two steps. We'll talk a little bit more about the mortgage application process in a little bit, but no reason for alarm. Prices right in line where they should be. You know, they went down a bit. That's normal. They've gone back up. That's normal. That's just the way our home processes work. I'm just going to suggest to you that these things happen on a regular basis. They're cyclical. That is the real-time real estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. And boy, oh boy, are we lucky today. It is Wine Wednesday and our opportunity to chat with Robert Mott. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Ron. How are you today?
I am doing wonderful. Looking forward to our weekly chat. And I'm actually, before we even get into our weekly chat, Robert, I think we need to do a shameless plug, because isn't this the week that we get to go and check out a new wine bar?
Absolutely, it is shameless plug time, and we only do this once in a while when we absolutely have to, as you know.
Absolutely.
Our good friends who own Old Town Coffee Company in Old Town La Quinta and down the beautiful Coachella Valley, they are opening the Wine Emporium this weekend. New wine bar in Old Town La Quinta. It can be a great place to visit. I would highly recommend anybody who lives in the Coachella Valley, or especially any of our listeners who happen to be in La Quinta this weekend or are planning to be down there, that they stop into Old Town. They come on over to the right next door to the Old Town Coffee Company, and you'll see a brand new wine bar. Obviously, like any business, it's freshly opening. You know, there's some things that still will need to get done, I'm sure, even after they open the doors. But go on in, say hello to Marcy and Aaron Johnson, the proprietors. I think you're going to find that it's be a great selection of wines there. Some wonderful selections at a variety of price points, and they're going to have a great wine by the glass program, and some nice small bites to go with that wine. I think it's going to find a really pleasurable experience there. And it's going to be a really nice casual experience. Definitely a no snooty zone, as I would say. You can go in and enjoy your wines. Enjoy your wine.
I gotta
learn
put you
something.
On the spot here, Robert. I'm gonna throw a tough question at you, because when obviously having beaten anorexia, I go over to the coffee house there, and they make one of the best cinnamon rolls that I've had anywhere. Is there a wine that might go complement their cinnamon rolls?
That is a really, really good but tough question. I'm going to have to think about that one. I'm with you on the cinnamon rolls, though. I mean, I don't know anybody that does cinnamon rolls better than Marcy and Aaron do with Old Town Coffee. But those things are unbelievable. But I think that's the spiciness of it. Gosh, I'm not sure what I would pair with that. My fallback is always sparkling wine or champagne, and I think that would kind of go. But I think I can find a better pairing than that. Let me think on that one a little bit. I just don't have a great answer for you off the top of my head.
I think something, Robert. I think you've been coming on with me for 2.5 years now, and I think first time I've stumped the master.
Well, I've just never thought about pairing. Sorry, I just never thought about pairing with those cinnamon rolls. It's like they're an experience into themselves, and it's like it's hard to think about just distracting from that experience.
Exactly. I'm with you. I think you're right. I think we might just have to stick with a nice cup of coffee and that cinnamon roll. That's great. Let's talk a little bit private equity and wine. What's this all about with Duckhorn? I love Duckhorn wines.
Yeah, as we know, wine is very romantic. Wineries are very romantic, and we get that feeling of going back to kind of our agrarian roots, so to speak, when we go and visit wineries. But wine is big business as well, and especially when you go to some of Napa's more iconic brands, and I've used that word iconic maybe too often, perhaps, when it comes to brands in Napa. But I don't think it's misplaced when I apply it to Duckhorn Wine Company. Probably, when in the Renaissance of Napa Valley, that was essentially, I'll give Robert Mondavi credit for kicking that off. Dan and Margaret Duckhorn were right behind there as some people who were they were pioneers in the wine business in Napa Valley. Also, great people as well. People who've given back to Napa, given back to the people who lived there, and the people who worked there for a long time. They're well known, I think, primarily. They founded their winery in '76, which is just a few years after Robert Mondavi. But they're well known for championing the Merlot grape. Merlot's a little bit out of fashion these days, but these guys are the ones that really put it in fashion. They're the ones that really put it on the map initially. So a great brand, certainly a very good set of wines, a good portfolio of wines. But anyway, Dan and Margaret, they sold. They're still involved in Duckhorn, but they sold out most of their equity, I think, or a good deal of their equity back in 2007 to a group called GI Partners. I believe they're out of San Francisco as well, but I could be wrong. But GI Partners basically continued to run the winery as a premium winery. They've expanded it. They've really enhanced the brand along the way. But just this last week or so, it was announced that they sold that to another San Francisco-based private equity firm called TSG Consumer Partners. No one, of course, knows. Well, somebody knows, but they're not saying how much was spent to acquire the Duckhorn Vineyards. But certainly, the deal comes apparently after months of reports that Duckhorn might be sold to Constellation Brands. And for those of you who may be familiar with Constellation, a very big conglomerate company that has lots of notable brands in it. But certainly when those of us that kind of had that romantic view of some of the bigger brands in Napa, it might not have been the best place for our friends at Duckhorn. But anyway, as usual in these kinds of things, the private equity firm is trying to maintain and enhance the value of the company. Apparently, Dan and Margaret will continue to be involved in the business. They indicated that all their key employees will be maintained, including all the winemakers for all the 6 wineries. And that's one thing that maybe people don't really realize. Duckhorn Vineyards now consists of many properties. Duckhorn Vineyards itself, Golden Eye out of the Alexander Valley, Paradox, which I think you've probably seen around, the Migration brand, the Decoy brand, and Canvasback. And they own more than 600 acres of vineyards. And as we've talked about before on this show, with Napa Valley land and actually vineyard land going anywhere from maybe $300,000 to $1 million an acre, that's no popcorn farm, as we would say.
Especially when you look like from the numbers I saw, it wasn't GI Partners, got in there, about $60 million?
About $60 million back in 2007, which was certainly, you could say that was a deal.
Especially, and that if they sold now to TSG and Constellation might or may not have been in the bidding, there might have been a little bit of a bidding war going on. So I'm sure that this GI Partners probably has a bit of a tax bill they're dealing with.
I would bet they are. In fact, I think we both misread the article here. It said that the GI Partners had invested more than $60 million in the company since 2007. Not that they purchased it for $60 million. And during that time period, they expanded their ownership by over 350 vineyard acres as well. I don't think we actually have a really good handle on how big that tax bill is going to be, but I suspect it's going to be significant.
I'm sure there's some accountants out there right now that are getting a lot of business, and I don't know, maybe they've got their tax returns over there with Donald Trump's. I don't know. We may never see those returns, but we we'll see, and it's great. I love a lot of the Duckhorn brands too. They've got some really, really nice ones. I enjoy them. They obviously have the more affordable brands you can go over to Costco and get. They've also got the higher end product as well. But great information as is. Robert Mott and I will look. Hopefully we'll be able to see. Might try and grab my bride and go out to the Coachella Valley just for a little grand opening this weekend. We'll see what's happening. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio.
If you're there, I'll see you.
Look forward to it, buddy. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, it's trust time, and we're going to learn a little bit about trust, a little bit about estate planning. Maybe we'll learn a lot about this trust and estate planning. We're going to learn how to give your home to your children tax-free, how not to screw up your mortgage application. That's a technical term, by the way. You can reach us anytime on our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Seagull lending team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Are you ready to overcome your biggest blocks with money and time? Your solution? Big Profits Now World Summit. The best skills and strategies to double and triple your business profits without doubling or tripling the work. This summit has gathered 24 experts specializing in business growth. It's a free online event that's happening now. Go immediately to claim your free ticket at bigprofitsnowlive.com. Enter your name and email and receive these free video interviews directly to your inbox. Again, that's bigprofitsnowlive.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
37% of American homeowners believe they have over 20% equity in their homes. Fannie Mae tells us 69% of American homeowners have over 20% equity in their homes. Fully 1 in 3 American homeowners are not informed about the amount of equity they have in their homes. Are you one of them? How might this be holding you back from achieving your goals? Text RSR CMA to 79564 to get a property valuation from one of the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Again, to know how much your home is really worth, simply text RSR CMA to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. You think I'm a novice at this, right? Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions. As well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. And as your consumer advocate, I'll be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, any mortgage, our friends at Gold Star are ready for you. They've got Everything from the great loan for our veterans, the VA loan, FHA loans for those who need that and first-time home buyers, jumbo loans. We're working on one right now. I saw them doing that's a $3.8 million purchase. I love those as well. Gold Star Mortgage, they've got programs for you. How not to screw up your mortgage application. Technically, that's the term that we use right there. One of the big things, I am a big proponent of making things simple. You know me, I'm a simple guy. So if you want to get your mortgage done the most efficient way, is you really want to be talking to somebody who uses a very simple checklist. It makes life so much easier. You get the list all at one time. You look and say, okay, I know I need 2 years federal tax returns, check. I need 2 years of partnership returns, if applicable, check. W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, divorce decree, if applicable, child support, if applicable, bankruptcy, if applicable, foreclosure, short sales, insurance. All of these things are very simple documents. And if you've got a great mortgage team like the folks over there at Gold Star, they're going to just give you a checklist. And you can go down that checklist. Once you have all the documents needed, you know you're done. It's pretty simple. Now, they may have some questions based on what they see, but don't go out buying a new car right before you want to get a mortgage. Don't go out getting a bunch of new credit cards or applications. It's going to throw some red flags in there. It may hurt your credit score. But again, it's not that difficult. A lot of people are making a big deal out of how hard it is to get a mortgage. Well, number one, if you're going to somebody that doesn't really know what they're doing, they're right. It may be difficult. It may seem monotonous. But my suggestion is go to a great group of professionals because when you go to a group of professionals, now, you know me, I always tell you, do not go to the big bank on the corner. Not that they're not good people. I love them. My son worked for one of them. But they only have one product, theirs. Go to the Stagecoach. Ask them what the guys in blue are doing today. They don't know. Go to a mortgage banker because they don't make any money if your loan doesn't close. So they're working for you. They're looking out for you. That is the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by Gold Star Mortgage. Very interesting conversation. Now, one of the things that if you're getting a mortgage, if you're buying a piece of property, you definitely and regardless of what, you need to talk to Al Manfre because he's sitting right next to me. Don't call him right now because he's busy. But Al Manfre, Heritage Financial Services, welcome.
Thank you.
So Al has a company. They do trusts for people, and now Al, I know there's one group of people that probably would not want to be talking to you. There's that group of people that like
probate
to pay
lawyers.
taxes.
Yeah, probate lawyers too.
Right? If you want to pay a lot of taxes, don't call Al. If you want to save some tax money, if you want to give the greatest gift of your life to your family, to your heirs, then it's a good thought to talk to Al.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, bottom line, you own a home, you need a living trust, revocable living trust. If you don't have it, you go through probate. Joint title is what they do a lot of times. Well, guess what? What if the husband and wife die in a common accident? Probate. So again, the lawyers.
Probate means that the government gets to take care of your assets.
Probate's a simple process. If you have a will or no will, but you don't have a trust funded properly, and we'll go over that. If you don't have those proper documents, the courts will determine who's going to get your assets, and they probate it for 1 to 3 years.
1 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And nowadays, when we're talking about the courts being so overburdened, It might take a little longer than that.
And it costs 5 to 10% of the gross estate. Check this out. Probate's based on the gross estate, not the net. So you could have $1 million piece of property, a $900,000 probate's based on $1 million. How do you like that? That's $1,500,000 in probate. You can literally walk out of there and not have anything after your loan. Think about it.
So you might want to just give your property to the courts, right?
Well, the problem is, here's what happens. They're going to liquidate the property. They're going to put that money in an account because then the lawyer gets his fees. And again, probate has its purpose, but if you do it properly, you can settle your estate if you have a trust and you have successful trustees and it's funded. Funding is the most important thing. 80% of the trusts out there that people have trusts are not funded. Funding means the assets are in the name of the trust. Bank accounts, obviously real estate, investments, not IRAs and 401ks are different. But everything else that you own should be in the name of the trust. If it isn't, it will go through probate. You also have guardianship issues if you have younger children. You have all special needs. If you have a special needs situation, you need to make sure that child is going to be taken care of for the next 40, 50 years. You can do that.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A trust, I call it from the grave also, meaning that you can literally control what's going to happen to your assets even after you die.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because there's so many people. I mean, the highest profile people out. I mean, we saw that Prince right, just died with no trust.
$300 million.
And so think about that. 5 to 10%. The court's got a good. It's Minnesota, I think.
Right. As a matter of fact, the courts have already been appointed. And now understand how the probate system works. That judge appoints his buddy that he fishes with, his buddy lawyer. So he's going to get a nice probate. I would say in that case, 30 to 40 million in probate by the time it's all said and done. Some lawyers going to get paid.
Wow.
Huge.
And the other part of it is, and correct me if I'm wrong because you're the expert, I'm just the radio guy.
Right.
When you have a trust, it's private.
Correct.
And when it's probate, it's public.
Yeah. So what happens when you probate estate, the lawyer, the way he has to do it, and I'm not a lawyer, I have lawyers that work for me, so I want to make that clear. I'm a finance planner. What lawyers do is they have to actually go into the paper and say, look, we have this person that died. Ron, I'm going to knock you off right now. Ron died, and now we have to sit there and determine who his heirs are. Now, anybody can come to him. The plumber, the brother, the ex-wife, whatever, can come in there and claim something. They have to determine. There you go. They have to determine if that's a valid claim. That's what takes 2 or 3 years. They charge $600 to $800 an hour. You can, and it speaks for that. And there's statutory fees. A certain amount of percentage they're going to charge no matter what. If they take 1 hour to do it or 10 hours to do it. But the bottom line. So I started this company in '96. That's over 20 years now. We have over 20,000 clients. The average client we have is probably worth about $1 million. We have clients worth $100 million plus. But the average client, I'd say 80-90% of the people we deal with, they just have a home, a retirement account. They want to make sure their kids, their charity, whatever, get that money. And that's what we accomplish.
And that sounds like an interesting concept because so many people, and obviously $1 million is a lot of money. But in this day and age, especially here in California,
right,
when you start thinking about real estate values, a 401k or an IRA, the numbers add up pretty quick.
Life insurance, too. People don't realize life insurance is part of your taxable estate. So I'll sit with young couples. I'll sit with older couples, but especially young ones. Oh, I don't have that big estate. Well, how much life insurance do you have with your company? Oh, we have $1 million each. Oh, you have $1 million estate. Oh, I always love the oh.
Right.
I get the O's from clients. I got to tell you a quick little story. So I had a beneficiary. I'm sitting with a client, second wife, and that happens in California. No doubt about it. Second, third, fourth, 5 wives, whatever.
70% of first-time marriages end in divorce in California.
So I'm sitting with the second wife. We're doing their trust and everything. I go, well, let me look at your life insurance, Mr. Jones. That's not his name. Just using it generic. I said, okay, let me look at life. Oh, by the way, your beneficiary is your first wife. His second wife looked at me and went, oh, I love that.
I thought you would just say, hired.
That's what happened. And by the way, she's very thankful that I came and he didn't mean to do that. He just didn't check his policies. So us as financial planners, we look at estate planning, tax planning, and investment planning. They all coordinate together. I call myself, using ESPN radio as an example, a financial quarterback.
Sure.
You're the coach. I'm your quarterback. I'm making sure the play happens. It's that simple.
And there's a lot to it. I've seen this, especially nowadays with the internet and what's going on the internet. We constantly are looking at these different issues, trying to figure out, exactly where is the, who's running everything, what's going on. And I lost my train of thought. It's always wonderful when you lose your train of thought. Right?
We're all getting older. Don't worry, Ryan. I do it too.
Right? I mean, well, we're going to move on, being that I lost my train of thought.
Well, let me go over something that's very important. I see a lot of times. So we're.
Oh, you know what? So with those, many of us having, getting our statements by mail. Right. You got to make sure that it's funded properly. And I'm suggesting, and I'll ask you about this, Al. I've seen a lot of times where people don't do this. Is put an Excel spreadsheet at the back of the trust with every account number, every password, every login.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Right, because there's no statement coming in the mail. So if I have an account that my wife doesn't know about, she's not listed, we're okay. But if I have an account that my wife doesn't know about, right, there's no way for this to go on.
Matter of fact, I had a case happen recently. By the way, she was the first firewoman chief in the whole nation. She passed away from cancer. God bless her soul. But anyways, so her husband, she died. She had all the accounts and the PIN numbers and everything. She dies. the bank froze everything. He had to literally go back in and regenerate all his bills, how to pay them. He didn't know the PIN numbers and all that. So there's so many different things that we need to do. And our job is to go over that. We got at least once a year with our clients. And if they do it sooner, that's fine. We review. That's what it's all about.
Great information. We're going to continue our conversation with Al Manfre when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We will also be chatting a little bit about how you can give your home to your children tax-free. There is a plan for that. You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-619.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Isn't it time you found out the truth about FHA-insured home equity conversion? No, it's not your grandfather's reverse mortgage. This just may be the finest financial planning strategy available for all homeowners of retirement age. Helping protect what you've earned is the job of your board of directors with continued education. Major research has shown that using a HECM will significantly enhance the success rate of a retiree's portfolio and legacy. Please allow us to educate. For your complimentary consultation, call Jay Kaplan at 949-300-3855. That's 949-300-3855.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Seagull Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today, Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. In the Word on Wealth segment today, being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It's wrong. All are. That's why I know yours is wrong. It's pretty simple. Credit Sanitizer has the solution for you. You just need to give them a call. They'll help you get your credit report corrected. How to give your home to your children tax-free. Now, once again, I will give you the caveat. I am not a CPA or an enrolled agent. So what I'm going to do is give you some ideas here that you can chat with your financial planner, CPA, enrolled agent, lawyer, all of those different issues. So there are a lot of different ways of doing this. There are some ways you've got to worry about. You've got a one-time exclusion. I was just chatting with a gentleman in Temecula that he was looking at giving his daughter a property. There's a simple form where your tax basis moves over to the child, and that child not meaning maybe an infant, but somebody of older that can handle that. There are tax consequences for doing a bargain priced sale, so you need to be cognizant of the consequences there. Full price sale with self-financing. Are you living in the property or moving out of the property at the time? All of these are different issues that you need to be talking to with a qualified individual. There's qualified personal residence trusts. You need to understand how those work, who handles those. The bottom line here is think about this. If you want to pay a lot of taxes, you're more than welcome, and I'm sure the government will send you a thank you note. Maybe not. But the idea is I'm a big proponent in professional guidance. You know that. I give you the questions. You take them to the professionals. And I get a lot of folks, especially when they're on fixed income, later years in life, say, yeah, Ron, but you're just promoting somebody and they're going to make money. And I'm going to say exactly. I am promoting somebody. They are going to make money. I hope they make a lot of money. That's the whole idea of it. But the concept here is who cares how much they make? What's most important to me is how much do you make or how much do you save? If you offset that, it's a real simple finance term. It's called return on investment. And that's the important part. That's why we're chatting this morning with Al Manfre, Heritage Financial Services. He's in the house. We're having a little chat here. And Al, some great information you're already sharing about the trust. Before we go too far, though, I hear a lot of people say, trusts are way too expensive.
Right. Well, they normally are. I've seen trusts $10,000. I've seen $5,000. What we have done, and we've been doing this for 20 years, we charge $1,200 flat. That's for 2 properties in California. There's an additional charge on top of that. But what we do that's very unique, Ron, we go to your home or office and do everything there. The paperwork, the lawyers produce the trust, we bring a mobile notary, and everything's done in your office or home at a comfort level. We believe 80% of the trust we do is because we do it that way. You have busy business owners. You have elderly people that just don't feel comfortable going to a lawyer's office. You have just people that...
No one wants to go to see a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. So we take care of it. And again, we've been doing this for 20 years. We're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. So we believe our process is unique, and we have not changed our price in 20 years.
And the beauty from what you told me is, how often are you going to review with me?
Once a year, guaranteed. We have a ticker that we call you, and we have one of our advisors. If you need us sooner, we come out and see you. And that's why I tout the A+ rating. You cannot have 20,000 clients flipping burgers or whatever and not do a good job, and you would not have an A+ rating if you did something wrong. You would
Sure.
not. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that just keeps – it's just the way the whole world works is, nobody wants to – the big thing here, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent, is that people, when it comes to doing documents like this, they get intimidated. True. And then they say, well, and I can tell you this, I saw some recently. I had my trust done in 1980, and I haven't looked at it since.
We see those all the time. And let me give you one simple thing. First of all, they're outdated because you have HIPAA laws. So your healthcare directive, if you have one, and it doesn't have the HIPAA language, the hospitals will not accept it legally. And they don't want to. Ron, you're in the hospital, and you have a terminal, like you're brain dead basically, and you don't have a proper health care. That means they can keep you on life support at $30,000 a day at some hospital. Now, if you have this document, your children or whoever you choose can pull the plug, but it has to be HIPAA compliant. And the way they do it, when you go in a hospital, they do an asset search on you. And guess what? If you own a home, they keep you on life support. You don't have anything? Don't worry about it. They'll pull the plug themselves because they don't have any money yet.
Jeez.
That's how it works.
Amazing. Tell me a little bit. I do a little bit of political conversation here.
Okay.
Prop 58, what is it?
Very important. I see this all the time. So here's what's going on in our country. We have a transition. Literally trillions of dollars are going from one generation to another right now, mainly in real estate, mainly the $500,000 to $1 million homes. Remember, we're a middle-class society, so all this money is really in that bulk. So if you don't do, you can do what's called Prop 58. The child or grandchild that inherits it from the parent, the parent or grandparent, they can get their old tax base, but you have to do the form. It's called Prop 58, and if you do the proper form, guess what? your grandma and grandpa had taxes at $1,000 a year, if you don't do that, your taxes will be $8,000 to $10,000 a year if you decide to keep the property. So this saves our clients. We saved our clients millions and millions of dollars in that area.
That's amazing, because, and it's just one simple form.
Yes, and you just have to be aware. It's like many things in life. If you know about the law and you take advantage, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Now, here's a concept, Al, that I want to chat and share with folks. I know the answer to the question, because you and I spoke about it at lunchtime the other day.
Right.
Is when somebody passes and they've had a trust done with you, how soon should they be calling you?
Well, I've got to tell you, I feel so blessed, my wife and I. We literally had a client call us last week, first thing Monday morning, an hour after her husband died. Now, you don't have to do that. Take care of the funerals, take care of all that other stuff. It's a very emotional time. We can see them a week from there, 2 weeks from now. We want to usually within 2 to 3 weeks get things going for them. But, when it's children, we'll sit in front of 4 or 5 children and help whoever the successor trustee is, which is the children usually, help them understand how to settle the estate. They can settle the estate in 2 to 4 weeks. Done.
But the beauty of what I wanted to get to as well as that is your team is going to know about this Prop 58 and this tax basis and these changes. So when they have that conversation,
yes,
write forms and things, and who knows what the change is going to be in the next 6 months, 9 months, 5 years.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So that's why we see it every year. This is a snapshot of a moving picture. It literally changes always. So we have a new form called intent to return. Real simple form. If you don't have that form and you have a debt with the hospital, they go sell your house while you're sitting in the hospital over, rehabbing. They can literally sell your house. Now there's a form, I think it came out in 2006, and it's called intent to return, which is in our package. If you sign that form, they can put a lien on your property, but they can't sell your house. So there's so many different documents. We see you every year. If something happens, tragic, death, birth, whatever, we see you sooner. But our whole process is service. We average about 500 new clients a year on referrals only. That tells you something.
That's absolutely, it's a wonderful testimony. And I can share this. I've seen more than my share of trusts. I mean, it's amazing how many that we see, obviously leading a lending team and whatnot, where people will email the trust. Correct. And I saw the book that you supply. Yeah. It's War and Peace.
Well, thank you. It is thick and it is intimidating for most people. That's why I've been doing this 26 years. I flip around it like it's nothing, like riding a bike. But once we sit with the people, we go over it, and we put on the binder, which you've seen. We put our number all over it. So if something happens, I'll tell you a quick little story. We had that all there, and one of the children got the book, didn't know what to do. All he had to do was make a phone call to us. He gives it to a lawyer. Lawyer charged him $3,800 to review his trust. Didn't need to do that.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And so that brings up and obviously when you have 20,000 clients and 500 a year, the benefit here is keep out a secret, right? I mean, if you get a trust done, the next step is obviously then get your kids involved so they don't spend that money unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Right? If they had known to call you, or if they had their own trust done, they wouldn't have that issue.
Yeah, and I have clients that give their kids a trust for a Christmas gift. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Is there a better gift than that?
I look at a trust as being as the ultimate of gifts.
I agree.
Right? Because when somebody passes, and I know George Burns tried to find a new way out. He couldn't do it. So when somebody passes, it's a very emotional time, right? Your loved ones are really, it's difficult.
Definitely.
And if there's a trust in place, it really takes a lot of I don't know what the right word is.
Pressure
off the family.
And also, it's like the healthcare. You can choose if you want to donate body parts, if you not want to resuscitate. So it also makes it easy for that person because you've already decided your wishes. And they're not, one kid's going to say, oh, Mom doesn't want to be pulled. Oh, the other one, well, no, here's her wishes. I'm following her wishes. Just leave it alone. Absolutely. So there's a lot of dynamics in the family, a lot of fun. You'd be amazed.
At that time, it's very difficult as well because everybody's under a lot of pressure. And it's a very, very challenging time. So I'm going to – and Al's got a great gift. If you go to Ron Siegel Radio Gift Bag, www.ronsiegelradio Gift Bag, you'll be able to – and on our website, Al's got a great gift in there, a discount for every one of the Ron Siegel Radio listeners. We're going to post that right there on our Facebook page as well. And we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today, and Mitchell. He's here helping us set up as well. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, if you want me to put you in touch with Al Manfre, just give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar!
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything!
A Wendy's Frosty is something special. And for a limited time, a Frosty is just 50 cents. An American classic for a classic price. It's not quite a milkshake, not quite an ice cream cone. It's definitely chocolate or vanilla. That choice is on you. Use a spoon or a French fry. Anything goes. A Frosty makes summer special. Yep, there's nothing quite like a Frosty. And there's nothing quite like this deal. A Frosty for 50 cents. Get yours before this deal melts away. Small Frosty at participating Wendy's for a limited time.